Hi, so today we are talking thermostat. What is a thermostat? This is a device that helps the engine to reach operating temperature quickly when you start it up for the first time, either in the morning or during the day. So it has a gate that is operated by a temperature. This one is rated at 82 degrees Celsius. Now, this thermostat senses that it is reaching 82 degrees Celsius, it starts opening up. Now, it keeps the water on one side of the block, preventing it from coming to the cooling fins of the radiator. For the engine to reach operating temperature. That water is not cooled, and the engine takes longer to reach operating temperature. So once that water reaches operating temperature and the thermostat starts opening up, that water is let loose into the radiator so that it can be cooled through the fins of the radiator and circulated back to the engine. So what effect happens when you remove a thermostat? Because most times it's a quick fix for maybe an overheating engine. Maybe when the thermostat is faulty, it can make that engine overheat because it's not letting water through to cool in the radiator. The first effect would be, I would think, that comes to mind, it would be the engine will take longer to reach operating temperatures, which will affect, and first and foremost, your fuel economy, because the ECU is wired in a sense that once the engine reaches operating temperature, it stops dumping a lot of fuel into the engine for it to run faster, for it to reach operating temperatures. For it to reach operating temperatures. If you've noticed, every time you start up your car, either in the morning or any time of the day, your car first has high revs. That means the ECU is dumping a lot of fuel into the engine for it to reach operating temperature, as that you can start driving. So once it takes longer to reach operating temperature, obviously the ECU will keep thinking the engine is still cool, so it's keep dumping a lot of fuel, which will affect your fuel economy in the long run. However, there are some people that really find it very negligible and don't mind, and they keep it that way. That's why they do not replace a thermostat into their engine. The second thing would be it affects the oil. How does it affect the oil? Once the oil takes longer to reach operating temperature, it will take time to actually now loosen up to become lighter for the engine to use. That means the engine will struggle to use that thick oil when you start it up for the first time. So the engine being that it is struggling to actually use that thick oil that is not at operating temperature, your fuel economy will still go up. So basically, those are the few things you can find that when you're replacing, or when you don't replace the thermostat, or when you remove it completely. That would be the basic effect of what would happen. And sometimes when you remove it, it also tends to hide leakages in the coolant system. It tends to hide leakages because the water is free flowing. It helps. So the thermostat also helps with pressurizing the system. Yeah. So once it pressurizes the system, the water moves at a very high pressure into the radiator, which also like helps it to cool faster because there is pressure in the system. That circulation that is free flowing. So once the system is not pressurized, it will sometimes hide leaks, and maybe you can, once you put your foot down on either the highway or something, that's when you will actually notice the leak, and sometimes it's too late. Sometimes you won't even see the leak until it's too late. So if you have any inquiries or questions, you can drop them down in the comments. Drop a like, thumbs up. Till next time.